The wigs and hair extensions that you see in shops and beauty salons might look sleek and glamorous, but have you ever stopped to wonder where that hair actually comes from? The human hair industry is worth billions, and most of it is supplied by India. And it takes a pretty unexpected journey, starting out in temples, combs, and even drains across the country. So today we're going to untangle where your hair extensions come from and ask, why is human hair such big business? I'm Hannah Gelbart, and this is What in the World from the BBC World Service. Okay, let's find out about India's booming hair industry. I'm speaking to Priti Gupta, a journalist in Mumbai. Hi, Priti.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. So, India is the world's biggest exporter of human hair. Just how much hair does India export for wigs?
It seems like India basically exports more than 200 billion to 500 billion USD hair each year, according to the market's need and the environment. It seems Indian hair is too popular.
And where exactly does that hair come from? Talk me through how it's collected.
So it's a very surprising journey when we look at this hair. The hair is sourced from two different sources. One is the temple hair, which is like clean, beautiful hair. India has a culture where there are few temples, southern part of India, where a lot of women and men shave their hair, like donating it to God when their wishes get fulfilled. The other section where the hair is collected is like quite surprising for us. They go to saloons basically, or even from the garbage. There are hair pickers which go to the huge garbage places and collect hair. They go from door to door to collect hair. Anybody, any women in rural area can sell their hair. Hair seems to be a huge business in India.
How much do the people who collect the hair, how much do they get paid for it?
People who collect it have a very minimal job. Like hardly they get $1 or something like that for 1 kg of hair. Because the hair that they collect from different sources are not clean hair. They are hair which are picked up from garbages, from different women's houses, from hair brushes. So these hair are sorted out, cleaned. The process after collecting the hair is much lengthier than the collection of the hair. That's one of the reason the hair which we look at collected from various different sources, people who collect it is very, very meaning, like minimum $1 for a kg or something like that.
Can you talk me the whole process from picking the hair to cleaning it, packaging it, getting it made into a wig, and then eventually people wearing it?
There are two different kinds of hair. One is a Remy hair, which is directly collected from temple. So when we look at the auction, the hair is collected, it is much cleaner hair, much length. The length of the hair is much better. So those hair are less difficult to basically clean it. The hair is collected, washed, packed, and then segregated in terms of the length of the hair, and then there's exported. The difficult part is non-Remy hair because that comes in entangled. People who comb their hair or it's collected from the garbage, that hair is collected, sorted according to the length of different varieties. In fact, when we look at hair, the color of the hair matters, the brown hair, the black hair, or the gray hair. Once the hair is sorted, then the length is decided. The hair is cleaned basically. An instrument called wedge is used, which is very, very similar like a comb. The hair is passed through that. The hair is untangled, washed, cleaned, bleached, and then it's exported basically. So it's a long process. And usually when they wash the hair is drying is a natural process. They don't use machines to dry the hair. Once the hair is washed, cleaned, and then it's packed in different segregation parts, like lengthwise. Then it's labeled, packed, and according to different countries' needs, the hair is exported.
So it's exported before it's made into wigs.
Yes, it is exported before it made into wigs.
Where does it go, and what's the process from there in terms of it being made into wearable items?
Most of the hair that's exported go to China, US, and Europe. South African countries do take hair from India. And then the place where we look at most of the wigs are made, that's China. China has a huge market where wigs are made and exported to different parts of the world. But most of the hair that goes is from India, but the wigs are made in China.
Why is it China? What is it about China that makes so many wigs?
When we look at China, China has a set industry where they have proper machines, and each house basically has good equipments to convert the hair into wig. That's not with India. In India, we are picking up because we are realizing that hair is gold. It's a machine made wig basically when we look at China. India has handmade wigs.
Priti, you mentioned Remy hair. There are, of course, different types of human hair wigs. There are synthetic wigs. We've got a question for you now.
Hello, my name is Yetunde. I'm from the UK. How much of this hair is actual real human hair? Are we actually sure that what is being produced in China, in India, are real human hair?
I think anybody basically can understand what is human hair and a synthetic hair. The biggest test is basically when you try to burn a strand of a hair. If the hair curls basically immediately, you realize it's an original hair. But if the hair is just burning, it's a synthetic hair. In India, when we look at Indian wigs, they're usually synthetic hair wigs, not the real hair wigs. China is popular for real hair wigs. The simple test I would say is the weight of the wig basically. The synthetic wig would weigh more than a human hair wig because human hair wigs are made in a very intricate way.
As we've said, India is the main supplier of human hair in the world for wigs and extensions. What is it about Indian hair that makes it so highly sought after?
So when you look at Indian hair, I think they're beautiful. We have natural black hair. We have a thicker hair. We have a stronger hair, which can basically be used in any kind of purpose. And that's one of the reasons. And if you look at India, we have a different kind of hair. Like we have wavy hair, we have curly hair, we have straight hair. Our hair is softer. And especially in the southern part of India, women have very soft and beautiful hair. India is known for its hair, basically.
Priti, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. As well as being used in day-to-day life, wigs are, of course, used by performers. Zeeshan Ali is a drag artist in Mumbai and says that it used to be tricky to find the right wig, but things are changing.
Wigs play an essential role. As a drag artist, I create multiple characters and multiple personas, and wigs enhances and elevates that character, brings my fantasy to reality. Wigs in India has always been a problem. Although India is one of the biggest exporters of human hair, it's always been difficult because Indian markets have not yet come to understand the wig phenomena that works around the world, and slowly and steadily that's changing. We have some amazing wig sellers in India right now that are making some really cool human hair wig. However, most of the synthetic wigs come from China or US, where most of us get our wigs from.
Now let's talk about where all of that hair that is collected ends up. And joining me in the studio is BBC journalist Nadia Gyane. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So to start off with, do you think that people know where the hair in their wigs actually comes from?
Well, I've been talking to quite a few people and this is what they told me.
My name is Bella Rimbainashe Chibwe. I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I actually have no idea where my braids come from. I've always assumed maybe China, because a lot of the cheapish things come from China. I don't know.
Hello, my name is Deborah. I live in London. I tend to wear wigs every day, and I like wearing wigs because it gives me a chance to experiment with length, texture, color. I do know where they're sourced, but I know most people don't. They tend to be from India mostly, but also from Indonesia and Vietnam. I'm very specific with the countries that I tend to wear in my hair because I know that sometimes hair is not ethically sourced or sometimes people are being exploited for their hair. So I tend to be careful when researching where to get my bundles or my wigs from.
Hello, my name is Laura. To be honest, I've never really given much thought to where the hair comes from. I know a majority is processed in China, but I'm not completely sure. I usually just pick up whatever feels right for the moment.
So some people know, some people don't. There's quite a lot of mystery around this whole industry. Nadia, which countries use the most wigs?
Well, surprisingly, US comes up on top. They are the number one importers of wigs and human hair. After them, it's Nigeria, followed by China. Then it's the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then it's the UK.
What about hair extensions?
Hair extensions is a little bit different, actually. It's Myanmar. They come in number one.
Myanmar?
And that's because, so they import and also export Indian hair. So they're coming into the industry quite new. After them is Austria, and then it goes to Italy.
And when people are looking for a wig, what exactly are they looking for? How can they tell that they've got that quality?
Well, there's a number of different kind of contributing factors. It's like hair length, style, what type of hair you want, so whether or not it's curly or straight. So everyone's looking for something a bit different, but it's all all the rage. There's loads of influencers that say which type of hair you want and how you want to use it. So that's what people look for mostly. And also there's the lace wig, which means that how realistic is it when you put it on? And that's also what people look for. And there's a new one called HD lace, which basically makes it even more natural looking. So when you put it on, it doesn't look like, I don't know, a toupee.
What exactly do you mean by lace wig?
Okay, so a lace wig is what the hair is wefted onto. So they put it on and make sure that it's as seamless as possible. So basically making it more natural looking as possible. So when you kind of do a hair parting, it looks like your actual hair, when you part your hair, you can see that it's the actual scalp. So that is what a lace wig is. And HD lace is what they're now calling it. Makes it even more transparent so that it looks like someone whose hair is actually growing out of their head.
Are people quite transparent about the fact that they're wearing wigs these days, or are people still using wigs and, trying to make the world believe that that's their natural hair?
I think it's now more open, actually. Before, it used to be quite hidden and quite closed, and people thought it was a bit taboo. But because of social media, people are actually sharing more of their hair journey stories. And wigs are very much popular, and as well as hair extensions, a very popular thing to do, as well as like when you have to get your eyelashes or any type of hair. People are definitely sharing, and no one's really ashamed of that.
Social media's changed so much.
Massively.
It's changed the way we glam as well. Like, we feel like we're constantly on camera. I imagine that's also made the demand for things like wigs and hair extensions go up too.
Definitely, and the demand is actually growing. So recent stats show that there's 7.5 billion due to wigs and hair extensions currently. And that was in 2024. Now, in the next 10 years, that forecast is set to grow to $12.5 billion US.
And that's the value of the human hair industry. That's huge, isn't it? Nadia, thank you so much for coming into the studio.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. You can get in touch with us anytime. You can leave us a comment right here below. We're also on Instagram. We're on WhatsApp. This is What in the World from the BBC World Service. I'm Hannah Gelbart, and it's been great to have you with us.